Flight boss, bitch, you know, for sure. You're now listening to the Mind of an Terry's Move. I'm the Archangel Uriel, and I'm here to carry out God duties and motherfucking responsibilities. And we're going to talk about today's energy, because the moon in a few hours is going to slide her monkey ass right into Gemini. And you need to know what the fuck the energy is going to be displaying as the moon situate her ass into Gemini, because she's leaving her exalted place. So now she's getting ready to go back home, but she got to travel a little bit, you know what I'm saying? She got to go through a bunch of circumstances and situations. So right now she's coming from her high state. So we all know the moon is what manifests. It's like the world we live in. So whatever sign the moon is in, that's the world we are in at the moment. And since this round that we are in is more dependent on receiving than actually pushing out. See, y'all ain't gonna start pushing out to the 4th, 5th, and 6th dimension. That's when y'all start getting into y'all giving energy, where y'all giving everything y'all emitting. But as far as the realm y'all in lore, so y'all in the lore realm. So y'all ruled by lords. So y'all motherfuckers is receiving everything that's given. Then y'all trying to create something in the lore realm than y'all and try to admit to that. But for the most part, you need to understand what kind of system is going on. In the 3rd dimension, you're more in a system that everything is back to supported by receiving. So the moon is actually more powerful within this realm of reality right here, this 3rd dimension. So any sign that the moon is in, that's the world we're going to be in, and that's the energy signature that's going to be forcing us to react and respond to. So depending on your moon sign or your other alignments, based upon the transits and the angle that they have with today's transits and today's moon, that's going to let you know if you're going to have a good or bad day, or if your day is going to be constructed as a normal day, or if you are into astrology and you watch Archangel Uriel, aka Flight Boss, then you'll kind of be aware on how to utilize the energies for your goddamn self. You know what I'm saying? So that's what the fuck this is about. So since we know the world we about to be in, ooh, y'all see my hands? I got hands in this motherfucker. God damn. You know what I'm saying? But look, check this out. Since we know the moon is going into Gemini, that's the world we're going to be in. So what is Gemini? Mutable air. Being mutable and being able to adapt to your own and other people's ways of thinking and communicating. So it's like mobile with air. It's like transparent, but also transporting. So it's transparent and transporting. So it's almost like something that's transiting something that you can't see. So it's like the lightest air. So it's not heavy condensed air, fog time like Aquarius, and it's not Libra air, like pressure bust pipes type of air. That leadership, follow me, this is the way we're supposed to relate kind of air. This is more scattered, can't trap in a jar, kind of spread out kind of air. You see what I'm saying? So for the most part, it's like a day that you might, a non-windy day, but the air's still there because you're still breathing. So that's very mobile. So a Gemini themselves know how to jump in and out of conversations, know how to communicate effectively, know how to utilize words to the point that they could jump into a conversation that they may know nothing about, but they still give off the energy that they knew what the fuck they was talking about. Yeah, y'all got the gift for gab. Yeah, y'all got the gift for gab. So for the most part, when we get into this motherfucking energy of the moon going into Gemini, now this is what everybody going to feel the need to react and respond to. This is what everybody going to feel a necessary need to feel comfortable with. So if you got a moon in Sag, such as myself, or if you got a moon in Pisces, or if you got a moon in Virgo, maybe a little bit harder for you to get with the program than others around you at the moment. You see what I'm saying? You got to get that in mind too. The pressure is off of cardinal signs, and the pressure is off of the pressure is on all the fixed signs, but mutable signs right now got this receiving energy, and they might receive it in a negative way. So if you got a moon in Sag, a moon in Pisces, or a moon in Virgo, just know the way you react and respond to things today and tomorrow and half of the next day may not be as effective or successful as it would be if you sit back and learn, because you are a square or opposition to today's moon, which when today's moon go into motherfucking Gemini, Sagittarius is, Pisces, and motherfucking Virgos will be squaring off, you know what I'm saying? So Gemini opposite side of Sagittarius, and they all squaring each other. So for the most part, the square creates a learning process, and the opposition creates an obstacle. So like I said, once again, and you could be a sun, moon, and ascendant, but specifically moon, because the energy is in the moon. But on a lighter note, you're still going to experience this with the ascendant and the sun. If you have the ascendant, moon, and the sun in Sag, Pisces, or motherfucking Sag, Pisces, or motherfucking Virgo. Now, if you are a Gemini, the ball is in your court. But here's the thing. Anytime somebody got the ball in their court, what comes great power comes great motherfucking responsibility. So you're not supposed to go overboard. Just because you're going to be right majority of the time, don't utilize your sense of being right to take advantage over circumstances, because that's when you're going to jump right into a circumstance you're wrong in. Being too confident, going too overboard with the energy that you already got access to. You see what I'm saying? So we got to learn little things that we be participating in that we may not know because we're not into how to understand the energies. You know what I'm saying? You gotta get into knowing how to understand the motherfucking energies. Now, like I said, the moon puts us in the world that we are in. So, you know, everybody got to feel the necessary need to react and respond to ways of communicating. I feel that need, and it's hard for me to jump into that. So I have to learn, you know what I'm saying, externally, without just jumping and saying, I'm going to be me. I'm going to have to learn externally how other people are reacting and responding. Therefore, I know how to jump rope. I know how to jump in, jump out. And you know what I'm saying? Just like on motherfucking, don't be a minute while drinking your juice in the motherfucking hood where they jumped on boy in the game, but they literally jumped him in the game with some jump ropes. Shit. But for the most part, yeah. You know, you'll know how to jump rope. You'll know how to get in and out. Like, so it may be a little harder. Like I said, Sag moon, here I go. And all you motherfucking Virgos, Pisces, Virgo and Pisces moons. You know what I'm saying? Geminis don't overutilize this shit. But everybody gonna feel that sense. Now, here's the thing. Things have lightened up a lot from, now you feel still a little sense of privacy and wanting to be comfortable right now. But in a few hours, like 2.5 hours or something like that, you're going to start feeling this energy signature to be like, all right, now I need to get up and communicate. Now I need to get up and talk. So things ain't going to be as dark. Things is going to lighten up. You see what I'm saying? So conversations may lead into dark conversations. And when I say dark, that just means deep or evasive or passive or indirect or you know what I'm saying, behind the scenes or taboo type of conversations. These type of things will be brought to the surface. You know what I'm saying? Well, things you were passive about, now you want to be direct about what you was passive about. You may even start communicating about what you was letting other people get away with, and now you want to communicate. You're going to feel this, when the moon going to Gemini, you're going to feel this sense of need to communicate about that. You're going to be like, yeah, you know what I'm saying, I know what you was doing like last week or this, that, and third, but you know, I was just letting things go, whatever. Like, there's going to be conversations like that, you know what I'm saying? Even if you're the type of person, like I said, if you got a moon sign and a square signs right now, like if you got a moon sign in Sag, motherfucking Pisces or Virgo, you're going to be forced into conversations that may lead into areas you may not want them to lead to. You know what I'm saying? So dark conversations or may be brought upon you that, like, so you may start having a conversation with somebody and the conversation may lead into an area you didn't necessarily want it to lead to. So keep that in mind also. It's going to be like that for the next 3 days also, starting today and the next few hours. So if you're already a person that like things to be surface level, try not to even participate in a lot of conversations in the next 3 days, starting today, because these conversations, in some way, shape, or form, a certain word or a certain body gesture or a certain situation is going to lead it into an area that you didn't necessarily want to dive that deep into. And you're going to be forced to deal with it, forced to talk about it, forced to analyze about it, because that's what everybody is reacting to right now. Being curious, because that's the world that the moon is in. So since it's Gemini, the moon is making everybody be curious, be reactive and responsive to ways of communicating, ways of analyzing information. You know what I'm saying? Communicating about this information, coming up with ideas, putting together puzzles, metaphors and things like of that nature. And people doing that in every spectrum of their life, starting today for the next 3 days. Soon as in the next few hours, the moon going to Gemini. People are going to be trying to analyze and construct and react to all the little specifics and instructions that's going on in their life. Now, actually, and this is going to want to be communicated. Now, what's being communicated? Because you need to understand that the moon actually pushes out and motivates the sun. So you need to know that since the moon is more powerful here, it's more related to the feminine energy. So actually, the moon motivates the sun. So wherever the moon is at, that's the state of being everybody going to be in. But how it's going to be pushed out, how it's going to look, how it's going to be seen, how it's going to appear to be is whatever sign the sun is in. Now, what sign the sun is in? Motherfucking Scorpio. So for the most part, if everybody reacting and responding to communicating and analyzing and being curious and information and talking amongst each other and coming up with ideas, what are these things going to be backed and supported by? What's going to be communicated? What's going to be analyzed? What people going to be curious about? The shit that you can see, aka the sun. So everybody is going to be analyzing and trying to communicate about what? Dark things, deep things. Because why? The sun is in Scorpio. So that's what you need to understand. So these are things that everybody want to communicate and relate to. So this is why I say it's not as a dark time right now, because everybody trying to take what's in the dark and bring it to the surface, bring it to the light, take what's in the yin and bring it to the yang. You know what I'm saying? In the conscious realm, and create an energy from it. So everybody is taking their way of analyzing, their way of utilizing their hands, their way of understanding their surroundings, their way of perceiving and constructing the things that they're familiar with, whether it's people, places, and things, and the way that they analyze and bring these things together, they're communicating with it on a deep sense, on a deep end of what's apparent. So right now, people just ain't talking about the day-to-day basis right now. People are talking about planning. People are talking about scheduling. People even conversating with you right now like, look, man, I know what you about to do tomorrow. So tomorrow, let's set this up today, this, that, and the third. Like, you're going to hear conversations like that. You're going to be like, oh, okay, this is not just a reckless-ass Gemini energy going on. This is a scheduled, planned, structure-ass, a bunch of that Gemini air going into the water as H2O, but it's going into some cold water, so that air is kind of concealed in a way. So everybody is kind of having whatever they're curious about and their ideas, they're kind of fixating themselves on it because they see it. So you're going to be able to see your ideas tomorrow also. All your thoughts and imaginations, you're going to want to meditate. You probably feel that right now. You're going to feel this necessary need to want to meditate because everything that's going to dive into your mind with all this moon being in Gemini and making you react to thoughts and ideas and being curious and all that stuff, you're going to be forced to see it. You're going to see it. It's like it's going to be outside of you almost because the sun is in Scorpio. So what's in you is being brought out of you. So people are going to see it on you also. So be careful about the thing that is on your mind because the things that are on your mind actually becomes your aura. So people are going to see you in that way too. So if you got a lot of manipulative snake kind of mind right now, if you're a person that's involved or revolve into a relationship right now, y'all evolving around each other, but you got a lot of things on your mind like you want to go and cheat and go into another rotation, into another pattern amongst another group of stars and moons, aka suns and moons. We all stars. That's what I meant to say. But for the most part, if you got that on your mind, when you bring that back into the space that your partner is in, they're gonna sense that, not sense it, see it. They're gonna actually see it. They're gonna realize it. You need to understand that, and they may even communicate about that right now. But the way it's gonna come is in a way that's unapparent. So instead of them coming and saying is you cheating and things of that nature, your partner may come communicating with you in a way of saying, let's go out, like coming up with a bunch of ways to do things like how y'all got together in the first place. You see what I'm saying? Like, oh, let's do this. We ain't do this in a while. Let's do this and we ain't do this in a while. And the moment that you start to be like, that was fun, but now it's changed, that your partner gonna know you're doing the same thing with somebody else. You're just having fun or doing it with somebody else. You see what I'm saying? So it's like communications from the inner realm is coming out, but it's not coming out as direct because remind you, Gemini is indirect. It's air. So air is indirect. Air is never direct. You can feel fire, boom, hit your ass. You could go swimming, boom, feel the swimming pool and shit like that. You could fall, boom, troom, hit your motherfucking leg and hurt from the goddamn ground scraping and shit like that. But air is transparent. See what I'm saying? So you gotta understand that. So it ain't really to be felt. It's just really to be heard, or is really to just be communicated, and it's really just to be a perception or a concept or a structure or a sense of direction. Because for the most part, third dimensional wise, you could feel where the wind is blowing, but for the most part, it's just giving you forms of communication. That's how you're communicating. That's how we're analyzing. That's how we know where the seas is going. All that is back to supported by communication and a color spectrum of blue and fucking spaceships in the first place, and creating a spaceship and creating a mentality and creating a concept and having conviction behind that shit. You know what I'm saying? All that is dealing with air. You know what I'm saying? Because that's the ability to travel. So if you want to astro travel, your ability to astro travel is to come up with a mentality, an idea, a thought, or a concept, right? So astro project it. Now you start to see your idea and concept. Now, nobody else see it because it's not in the third dimension realm. You have only created that light, that spectrum, that light body, that shape and form. You have created it in the fourth, fifth, and sixth dimension. Now, your ability for how far it can travel depends on how free you are, basically, how free mentally you are. That's how far your spaceship could travel. But if you mentally confined, indoctrinated, or things of that nature, and institutionalized, then you can't travel that far. You only could travel within the means of where you have learned to gain your spaceship in the first place, to make your spaceship. So if you have learned to make your spaceship in a bunch of places that aka is burdens in the fourth, fifth, and sixth dimension, aka shit that's added on your spaceship that got like a GPS system, like you can only go here, you can only go there, you can only go here, and then you believe your GPS system. You believe, man, you be like, if I go out of bounds, I can't go nowhere else. I won't know what to do. So in the third dimension, that plays out as a person, as soon as they hear some new kind of information, they kind of disregard it and go back to the things that they're familiar with. But a person who's actually mentally free actually creates a spaceship that it could go a lot further than the average people that you are around. So keep that in mind also. And you can learn that from Geminis, because Geminis do this subconsciously. You know what I'm saying? So, 99% of the world, you got Geminis that's regular into everyday life, like everybody else, mundane life. So they utilize this spaceship and this idea to further go off, but the spaceship that they be creating is still be made up of shit in this realm. So you know what I'm saying? So this what makes them lose shit in this realm, or be forgetful or things of that nature, but also be witty and know how to think how other people are thinking and stuff like that, because everybody have the same thinking type of attributes. But at the same time, and even Aquarius and Libra, but specifically Geminis, if you guys knew how to actually obtain your spaceship, but know what you actually are doing, and don't attach a lot of things from this realm to your spaceship when you do fly off, you will be able to know how to decipher between when you're here and when you're there. Therefore, two worlds don't be getting mixed up. So when you're in one world, you forget a bunch of shit in this world. Then when you're in this world, you forget a bunch of shit in this world. AKA in the third dimension, it'll play out as you thought you told somebody something, but you didn't. You thought you came up with something, but you didn't. You thought you left your keys somewhere, but you didn't. You know what I'm saying? Like shit like that. Like, so you gotta be careful with that. So for the most part, that's just a lot of energies that's going on. But I'm gonna go live tonight so we can get deeper into energies. But I'm just basically talking about the goddamn sun and the moon in this motherfucker video, goddamn 15 minutes or some shit. But yeah, that's what you need to understand. So everybody is thinking, everybody gonna feel the need to react or respond to thinking, communicating, being curious, and having a mobile way of doing this. So being curious and having information. But the information and the curiosity is going to be looked at and back to supported by Scorpio type shit, which is deep emotions and feelings, but deep being fixated emotions and feelings and things of that nature. So having to talk a lot to get that out, or certain conversations, bringing that out and things of that nature. And this is also what y'all need to understand also. When we're going through, we're all moving. So we're all going through traveling and following the sun in some way, shape, or form. So when we're in this space and location, and what y'all want to quote unquote call fall, or whatever y'all want to quote unquote date it on y'all calendars, we're just traveling through a space and location. Now, when we're going through the second half of the houses, which on a higher clock, I'm talking about the higher clock. So right now we're traveling ever since the sun went into Libra. We have been traveling through the 7th houses. Now the second spectrum of the houses. You have the 1st through 6th houses, and now ever since the sun went into Libra, we have been traveling through the 7th house, the 7th through the 12th houses now. Right now we're in the 8th house by the sun being in Scorpio. So I'm talking about the higher clock, which they really call it the houses, right? So for the most part, when we're traveling as far as a solar system through this ecliptic, through this area of the body of this being that we are in, what you need to understand how things appear to be, how we're aligned, this actual chakra wheel that we on, that y'all want to call Tiamat or Gaia or Mother Nature, Earth, whoever y'all want to call her, right? The chakra wheel, the star that we on, the fucking current water that we on right here, following that sun current water and all the other ones, right? In this space and location, we're actually above a lot of the other stars and things of that nature. So this is what you need to understand. At this period of year, right, when we're looking in the sky, we're actually looking up. This is why the 10th house appears to be the highest part of your chart, or this is why Saturn appears to rule this chart. And then when we're going through the springtime, that's us coming from death. So when you look up in the sky, you're actually looking down. So the reason why I'm saying that is because our alignments is different also when we're going through each period. So right now, as far as us, it's going to appear that the moon is closer to us, but it's not that, it's we're closer to the moon. So we're really exalted right now too. The earth is exalted in Virgo. So once the sun, it's like the sun, I'm going to break down all this when I go live and shit like that. It's because it's a system. It's a geometrical system that y'all need to understand that's actually going on. Now, so we are above. So the moon, we like almost close to the moon. So the moon going to appear a lot closer to us during this period of time. You know what I'm saying? Because we are exalted. So the sun is like beneath us. You know what I'm saying? During the springtime when it rises, we're beneath it. So when the sun is exalted during the spring area of time, that's when the sun is exalted. So that's when the sun is at its highest state. But we're below the sun. But during this time, we're above the sun. So when the sun try to get high, it can only really match us. So even when it's rising in the morning, the moon is still higher. It's still on a higher spectrum to our point of view, because we're closer to the moon and Venus and a bunch of other shit. But I'm going to break all this shit down so y'all can understand. So you can even go outside and look at this. This is nature. This is not something. Everything is astrology. Everything in life. Everything, I know y'all might get confused about the word astrology and who y'all thought made that word up. But if you was to take the word astrology away and just think about all kinds of life. All kinds of life are transits interacting with each other. You see what I'm saying? So if we are all stars, we are all astrology, basically. You know what I'm saying? So understand how we relate to each other. We start to understand how we relate to each other location-wise. We start to understand how we relate to each other mass-wise and country-wise. Then we start to understand how we relate to each other space-wise, esoteric-wise. But if you choose not to take that leap, then you're the one who's still stuck in the third dimension. And you're the one who's creating a 13 system, which is 4. That's really 4. So the 13 is really people trying to take the fourth dimensional attributes and bring it into the third dimension to live third dimension forever without actually being born in the fourth, fifth, and sixth dimension. So this is where we get computers and internet and things of that nature and going live and communicating and using a physical representation of telepathic powers, which is phone calls and things of that nature, right? Because we took some higher fourth, fifth, and sixth dimensional attributes that we really do with our spirits and brought that in the third dimension. And since you got a bunch of beings who want to stay in this space and location and don't want to ascend, or maybe they don't know that's what they're doing, but they're just doing it because they want to stay in this yang portion or this masculine worship of life to the point that they don't want to die, right? They create all these physical representations that can play out in the third dimension of fourth, fifth, and sixth dimensional shit. Almost to the point that a person will take their brain and plug it into the computer just to keep their consciousness in the third dimension in some way, shape, or form. So the shit is going deep when y'all utilizing the 13 because the 13 is just a blinder for you. It's a compound number. So you add on to shit. Anytime you add on to shit, it makes it heavier and brings it into density and come down into a realm of reality. That's why y'all as low as y'all is right now, and there's a billion things amongst this earth. And you could make $1 billion trillion. Because y'all too dense and heavy down here. So the more heavier something is, the more impact it have. So y'all like heavy music, y'all like heavy shit, y'all like shit that's heavy, shit that hits your heart. But what you need to know in the fourth, fifth, and sixth dimension, everything opposite. And that shit ain't necessarily the right thing to be doing because it motherfucking cloudy up things and fuck up your fucking spirit. And got you twisted. Then slowly but shortly in the third dimension, something in your life got you fucking twisted. And now you think life is twisted. Got you all fucked up and mixed and mangled. Where you did that to yourself in the fourth, fifth, and sixth dimension. And only if you was watching Archangel Uriel, you would have knew that shit ahead of time. It's real shit. This ain't no fake shit. So like I said, every time the planet's in Scorpio, you can't help but to go deep with this motherfucker shit. It's like, goddamn, I just wanted to have fun real quick because the moon's going into Gemini. But I forgot that the moon, me doing this video right now, the moon is still in Taurus. So it's still that little opposition right now. I'm trying to jump ahead of the energies and shit. Slow down, flame balls. But I love y'all this motherfucker. Goddamn.